Hey y'all. Big Brother just went off. Scotty's going home. Just a prediction. All the speculation, all the stuff you're reading online where there could be a chance that Fessy and Haley are working with Tyler and Angela. Don't believe that nonsense. It's the game is pretty much over at this point. There's going to be a battle back, but it's not going to matter. I mean, they're outnumbered. Fessy can't play. Haley's by herself. I mean, Fessy and Haley are going to go up on the block. One of them's going to go home, and then you're going to have the double eviction. I think is going to come first. Then they're going to have the battle back, from what I understand. But at that point, it doesn't matter who comes back because they're just going to do a roundabout, go in, go out. It's not going to matter. Anyway, let's talk about the best part of this episode, which is also the worst part of this episode. Zingbot. What was that, you guys? I mean, the ones against Fessy, Haley, and Sam, in my opinion, were pretty good. But all the rest of them were like weak as hell. I'm not sure who was writing these jokes this year, but those were some weak ass jokes. Like, come on now. Zingbot has been so much more vicious in the past, and in all honesty, fair. Because the zings against Haley and especially Sam, that one against Sam was really fucking personal. And the casual viewers are probably like, oh yeah, that's funny. But for the people that watch the feeds and watch the updates and watch Big Brother After Dark and see that Sam is really going through shit, that was uncalled for, y'all. They could have talked about anything else, but how she keeps bugs in jars and doesn't feed them, how she likes to baby people, but they went and just called her crazy on live television, and she was not amused. I know she wasn't amused. She may have put on a brave face in that moment, but for her to go off on people and go crazy and then have people like production like make jokes out of it, that isn't funny, y'all. Maybe there's something that I'm missing in that situation. Maybe Sam was aware that that was going to happen. Maybe production warned her so she wouldn't go to the left and go crazy on people. But Sam has been struggling, you guys. She, in all honesty, is not meant for this game. She has said it several times, and I personally didn't like that zing because it wasn't funny. Poking fun at mental health, especially now with all these suicides going on, it's just not something that I appreciate. Fessy's zing it's more like, I'm not going to say it's a fact. I'm not going to say it's a fact, but it was super fucking like personal. And at the same time, I feel like some of their zings could give out information because Casey's, especially, if people were upset, not upset, if people, America saw Casey as being like, or someone who wasn't very interesting, now Casey knows that, or people who have seen the show in the past. Because if I were in the house and were listening to those jokes, I'd be like, okay, so what are they saying about certain people? What does America think about certain people? Based off of these jokes, I will know what America thinks about Fessy. I'll know what America thinks about Casey. I'll know what America thinks about Sam. And so that right there will let me know who's on the top and who's on the bottom. Production protected Tyler with that lame ass joke. Production sort of protected Angela and Brett with those lame ass jokes. And I don't know, I feel like they could have done a lot more with those three, personally. From what's been going on, what's been said going around Twitter and all that, they could have done a lot more with those three. Angela's was but I don't think she really cared. Brett's was just stupid. Everyone's been calling him a douche since like the second one. All right, see you later, Blake. You honestly, you didn't miss much, but see you later. Everything that I've told you in my last video pretty much was broadcast here. The hide and go veto competition was really boring to watch. I honestly think they need to change how the rules work. Instead of people like, I don't know, I feel like you should get points for finding vetoes. The hide and go veto should be whoever gets the most points, not who can hide their shit the best. because how are those girls going to move all that shit out of the way to get to Brett's? That was a physically difficult challenge for people like Haley, and I just don't get it. Also, Scotty sort of fucked up when he put all that milk leading people directly to the bathroom. If you're going to do something like that, you want to lead people away by making a false trail. He didn't make a false trail. He made a trail straight to his. And so maybe he wasn't thinking about that at the time. I personally never would have done that. At the same time, I noticed that everyone had theirs hidden downstairs because there's a lot of shit to hide upstairs. And honestly, I would have been like, okay, where can I hide this? I would have hid that shit like underneath the cushions or in the foosball table or something. But they couldn't hide stuff upstairs apparently. I don't know why. I felt like a lot of the hiding places in this episode were kind of dumb. The one that was really good was the futon one. I really enjoyed that one. Brett just throwing shit on top of his. That right there should have been like, okay, someone keeps throwing shit on top of that corner. There's something over there. They should have figured that out. And if I were them, someone strong, process of elimination, it was either Brett or Fessy. Someone strong enough to do that. So if I were level 6, I would have been like, okay, it's one of those two. If I were Haley and Scotty, I'd have been like, okay, it's one of those two. So regardless, if I was Scotty, I would have went for that one first before anything else because Fessy put me up and Brett's my competition. There's no way in hell I would have went for anybody else's but theirs. I don't know. Of course, I'm looking at this from a standpoint of outside looking in, knowing everything that I already know. But physically speaking, statistically speaking, there are only a certain amount of people who could have done what Brett had done. And it didn't make any sense for them to go after anybody else's. I don't know. Maybe I'm, you know, giving myself too much credit. But I feel like these people weren't thinking. Also, don't know how much time they had. However, this veto took 4.5, 5 hours. And so they must have been looking, they must have been given a lot of time. Maybe after each round, time got longer or something. But I felt like this veto competition took too long for them not to have enough time to calmly think about who could have put what where. And that whole piling shit in the corner, first off, you can climb over that shit. You don't have to move it yourself. I don't know. If I were ever in this game, you guys, and I got the chance to play hide and go veto, I would think about who I'm up against and all of this stuff way before I were to hide my own veto. Because when they were told, I think they were told that they were going to be doing this veto, people were walking around looking for hiding spots. And certain people can do certain things. So if someone's going to hide something like deep down inside something, it's probably going to be one of the girls. If someone's going to pile shit on top of something, probably one of the boys. Most likely a stronger one. At this point, I'm beating a dead horse. I'm going on 9 minutes. This episode was mediocre. Didn't care for the zings. I thought that they could have done more with them. I felt like some of them gave away how America perceives some of the other house guests, and I felt like some of them were way too personal and not funny in the least. And this hide and go veto wasn't very. The house guests weren't smart. If production sees this video, I personally think they should change how hide and go veto is done. You should get points for finding the people's stuff. That's just me. The first one found gets awarded a certain amount of points. The second one found gets awarded more points, and so on and so forth until 5 of them are found. The person who didn't get theirs found gets an automatic X amount of points. But say someone found 3 of them, the person who didn't get theirs found may not end up winning. So there's ways that they can change this veto, and I think they should change it that way to make it more fair. Because honestly, there are some things that other house guests can't do. Finding a veto and knocking somebody out isn't very fair. Finding multiple vetoes, because Scotty would have had a much better chance. Oh well. It is what it is. Scotty's going home, everybody. Say goodbye to Scotty. Say goodbye to the Hive. They had no chance. It is what it is. Follow me on Twitter, s.k.turner 77. And follow me here, follow me there. Get me trending. I'm going to see you guys for Big Brother 21. I've been getting my ass kicked this past week because I had a lumbar puncture Friday. And so I had to go and get another lumbar puncture because I had my spinal fluid was leaking, and so I was getting really bad migraines. And now I got a blood patch the other day, and it felt really, really bad. It hurt so bad, but you know what? I'm here for y'all. I'm here. I'm doing what I do. I hope you guys get me trending because I've been through a lot and I want to be on TV. No, not really, but no, actually, no, really, but no, it is what it is. Bye, y'all.